Hey, good evening, everybody. How are you on this very curry, furry, snowy? I don't even know what I'm saying. On this curry, furry, snowy. Yeah, that was really good, wasn't it? I was trying to say on this cold and chilly and furry evening, but I said curry, furry. So that was really good, right? Hey, my beautiful baby daughter, how are you doing tonight? My awesome daughter has internet now, and she is joining us. She has come over to the Art of Health Restoration. So we are going to get this party started while we are getting our invites on. So let's invite our friends and family and everybody in between. We'll play a little bit of Inya. Where are you?
Alright, I'm here, right.
Where are you this moment? I'll explain that to you in just a bit. We are discussing about seeing the unseen tonight. Have you seen the unseen? We've discussed this a little bits and pieces before, but we're talking about the whole parameter. Jim, how are you? Oh, Jordan says, hi, my amazing mom. She's so beautiful. God bless me with my lovely mother. Love you, Mom. Oh, I love you. Hello, Lacey. Good to see you on here tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Definitely would love to have some of your feedback on tonight's discussion. That would be fabulous. We are coming on a little bit later tonight. I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter today. So awesome. Is there a way I can find you? Is there a sign I should know? Is there a hello, who is, oh, Jordan, love you. Invite your friends, invite everybody. Lies before me, you're so far away. In the darkness of my dream, the light on you will stay. If I could be close beside you, if I could be where you are, if I could reach. I had a wonderful time with you today, Mom. Thank you. You're the best. Oh, I love you, my baby girl. Yes, we had a fun time today, indeed. I'll give you some updates on Jordan for sure. She's doing amazing. Is there a sign I should know? Is there a road I could follow? All right, let me see who else is on here. Do I have Emma and Emma? What about Tony, Chase? Is Lily on here tonight? I know it's a little bit later. You're probably, the little ones are probably in Betty Bye for a moment, but that's okay. Isn't that a beautiful song by Enya? Enya, if I could be where you are, if I could find you. Well, and we are talking about us and our higher being, our higher self tonight, because that is where we are. And I want to discuss with you about seeing the unseen. And there you will find the answers too. Okay, so before we get started, what time is it? Everybody, what time is it? The time always has been, always will be. Now! The time is now. And Jordan says, life is amazing. Yes, it is. So let's get our happy notes going on. Here we go. Jordan, Jennifer, Rachel, we have Emma, Chase, Tony. Who is on here? Let's all sing our happy songs. Okay, here we go. Let's get ready. We're zippy, 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 zappy, 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 H-A-P-P-Y. We're happy. Yes, we are. I'm happy. You're happy. We're all happy. Here we go. We're zippy, 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 zappy, 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 H-A-P-P-Y. We're happy. Yes, we are. And again, one more time. We're zippy, 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 zappy, 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 H-A-P-P-Y. We're happy. Woohoo! I'm happy. You're happy. We're all happy because why? Every little cell in our body's happy. Every little cell in our body's well. Every little cell in your body's healthy. Every little cell in your body's well. You feel so good. I feel so well because every little cell in our body's well. Yes, they are because happy cells make healthy, harmonious cells.
How do I get in?
I don't know.
No.
Okay, hello James Williams. How are you doing tonight? So good to see you on here. Thank you for interacting, Jordan. Yay! Yes, we're all happy. And Jordan, I will give you all an update. We will be having Jordan live tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night so that you can hear updates from Jordan's journey herself. That will be super fantastic. She wants to keep you all informed of how her progression is going and what it's like to be on the light side and what she has done to change her life from darkness to lightness and to fight off her demons and to turn her life around to choose to stay in the lightness. So we're going to have more updates for you. We will love to have you all to follow Jordan's journey from her road of damaged and broken and very entertaining to a life of restoration and beautifully broken. So definitely stay tuned with us for tomorrow night while Jordan comes on to give you her insights, because it is her wish that she can influence other people that has been on the road of worst destruction, where she can help you turn your life around, because she has literally been there through everything, seen things that you don't want to see or have not ever seen in a lifetime. She has seen more things in a short little life than most people or than anybody has ever seen. So whenever you hear it straight from the person's mouth to your ears, it hits more home and profound, and those are the people that you can learn the most experience, learn the most knowledge and wisdom from, because they, including myself, have been down certain roads to be on the journey that we are on, to help you lift your spirits and to help you in your journey of life to exceed to the next level and to get you out of the confusion and chaos that you are seemingly in. James, working tonight, dear lady, but I'll save you, and like the farmer that I am, I'll plant you, know, and dig you later. But much love. James, you are so awesome. You are just a ray of light. James Williams. Let's hear it from my friend James. He is so flipping. Oh, James, did you delete your comment? Oh, anyway, I don't know. It was somehow it was, I don't know what happened. Well, let me do that, James. I don't know what happened. So anyway, I will catch you on the other side, James. I'll see you in a few. Okay, Jordan, can't wait to share with all of you guys, Jordan says. Share. So anyway, thank you. Definitely want to stay online. Jewel, so good to see you. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am having so much flipping fun, just doing lots of experiments and lots of different things happening in this world, in the reality, a lot of different things that are going on. Yeah, so Jewel is helping me with a few new things that I have learned over the past few weeks. And as you all know, I've been in different classes learning a few new things or refreshing my memory on things that I learned in the past and things that my dad told me. Janet, hello, Janet. How are you doing? And Jewel, my lovely comforting angel. Janet is the hypnotherapist. Any of you want to go through hypnotherapy, such as I did several weeks back, definitely hit my friend Janet up. She is the person to get you into a different conscious state and to allow you to feel your inner self and to help you on your road to recovery with hypnotherapy. So hit my friend Janet Wesley up. And for those of you that want a lot of comfort and need more insight on different things that are happening in this world, in the spiritual world that we live in, Jewel Kessler, my awesome comforting angel. She is just amazing. So I just spoke with Jewel just a little bit ago, and we are doing some other things, and it's just been so enlightening and so amazing, and I just get so giddy and much happier day by day by day, because I was in a state of confusion, you know, myself, me, myself, and I. Yep, yep, I was, yep, kind of spiraled downhill, because, well, not really downhill, but just took a spiraling plunge because of certain things that happened and went, poof, knocked me out. Like, wow, what is that? What was that? Is what I said. And therefore, it brought me down on different vibrations that I had already ascended from a certain level of the 3D dimension. I was in the 4th dimension, which we're going to touch base on that tonight, but I have excelled to the 5th dimension, but I keep, you know, bouncing back and forth. 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. Oh, 3. No, gotta get back up here on 5. So that's what's been happening with me, and so I'm loving every moment of it. A bit. I can really speak very well, can't I? A bit. I'm loving every minute of it, because I get to learn and I get to share, and I get to share everything with you all. And my daughter can explain this to you even more tomorrow, of what she is, what she has experienced and what we are talking about with the different dimensions and how different people can see different things. And it's so amazing. Okay, oh, it's still on there, Mom, his comment. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something going on my end. James, working tonight, dear lady, but like, oh, well, there he is again. Let's see. I love you so much, James. You're so okay. Got to comment. Jeanette, so good to see you on here. Thank you for tuning in. Please give us your insight. I love the posting that you did today in regard to the Christ factor. What we all are, Christ-like. You know, that was a man. So anyway, thank you for sharing those insights in the group, Jeanette. Very much appreciated. Jules, you are so amazing. Love you, love you, love you. You all are amazing. You all are awesome. You all are beautiful. You all are loved, as you all know that. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. Let's get this party started. All right, so yesterday we discussed a little bit about going into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimensions. And we also discussed the 4 laws that I like to gravitate back towards, which is the law of action, the law of, what did I say? I lost my train of thought.
You say the other one, transmutation.
Yeah, transmutation, the law of consequence, which is the law of cause and effect. And Helen, so good to see you. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope your arm is doing fine. Helen and a cat decided to get in a fight, and well, we don't want to say that the cat won, but cat got a little bit of a goodness out of her arm. But she is on the road to recovery, so glad that you joined, Helen. Talk to my daughter, Jordan. No, you are amazing. Aw. Jordan is amazing. Okay, so, oh, everybody, you got to come over. I've got some soups on. It is the most amazing immunity boosting soup with chickpeas, lentil, black beans, adzuki beans, celery, squash, those tomatoes, garlic, onion, chives, turmeric, all of the goodness, cayenne pepper, everything just to get your immunity boosted up.
Does it have meat?
Meatless.
Hey.
So you have to come on over. I'm actually sharing this with my daughter in her house. Her housemate made a huge pot of soup. Now this is the greatest time to make your immunity boosting soup, everyone. Put some lentils in it too. Put some vegetable broth in it and just really boost that immune system, because right now with the winter upon us, and I think it's supposed to be down to like 15 degrees tonight. Going to find my snuggle bunny. I'll be leaving here tonight to go and get myself really warm. Okay, so but definitely start your soups on to keep your vibrations high and to keep your sinuses cleared, your head cleared. So this immunity boosting soup is very, very good. Put lots of turmeric in it, lots of cayenne pepper in it. And the celery is just superb to add to it, but lots of cilantro in it, and just the good, edifying, everything that is clean and toxic free is very edifying for your body.
Why don't we use magic instead?
Use what?
Magic.
Magic. Yes, I use magic all the time. Okay, so anyway, eat. Yes, you can't wait to get that. Yummy, you can't wait to eat it. Yes, you all will have your immunity soup tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'll see you. Tomorrow. Remember, the word is tomorrow. Today is now. Tomorrow is tomorrow. And yesterday is yesternow. Okay. All right. Oh, so good that Jordan and Helen are getting to interact. Okay, so now that we are getting our immunity boosted up, we are getting our minds cleared and our thoughts cleared and everything else. Inhale happiness. Exhale gratitude. And just get your mind and your hearts in the right spot. So again, to all of my Christian friends, instead of listening with your ears, please listen with your hearts. That will be the best thing that you can do, because this message is for you too. Absolutely. So definitely give us a little bit of heart chakras going on. So we discussed the fact of the 4 laws that I like to resonate with. Jewel, magic. Yes, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. And we are having so much fun. Are we not, Jules? Oh my goodness, Jewel. Oh, it's just fun. It gets better and better and better every single day. And I excel to a higher plane and pulled my head out of my ass, and everything is awesome. So it just gets really good, and I cannot wait to share with you all the powers of telepathy, the powers of manifestation. Those are going to be in certain classes because it does take a lot of my time to get all of this information extended to you all. So if you're interested in more telepathy and manifestation, please send us an inbox. I'll send you over to my manager, Pat, my lovely, beautiful manager, Pat Brown, and she can set you up with an appointment, or we will have our online courses and classes that you all can sign up for, because it does take a lot to get all this information to you and from others. Okay, yes, listen with your heart is what my daughter says, and my daughter is one to really talk about this, because she would never listen to me before because she was never around me to listen, or she would hear me but she wasn't listening because she would just make fun of me. So when Jordan started listening with her heart, then a lot of different outlets opened up and a lot of different things came into her life to enable her to be able to fill her body with lightness and goodness and just everything in between that is for her highest and best now. Yes, we are love. Absolutely, Jewel. Okay, so with those 4 laws that we're talking about, we want to make sure that we are in the vibrational mode of love. When we have love that fills our hearts, then there is no room for hatred. I know a lot of people that have nothing but hate and vile and venom in their hearts and soul and spirit. And honestly, love can beat that all the time. But when they choose vile and venom and hatred, then they choose to go down, 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 and be in blackness. And it's really, really sad, because then they portray that negative energy over to other people, or that blackness over to other people, and it just brings the vibrations down. And even though light can outweigh the darkness, negative puts negative in you. I mean, look at the news, social media, look at everything that you're being bombarded with, and it's negative, 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 hate, 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 vile, 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 fire, fire, fire. And that's what people feed on. People I'm finding are people, and most of them just want to be entangled in all of the mess and be entangled in all the hatred and push and spew out evil things, and it's just really very disheartening. But those of us that are on a higher vibration, it may make us angry, especially in the 3rd dimension. If you are in the 3rd dimension, the 3rd dimension is simply being caught up in the physical realm of everything. It's your physical body that is being caught up in the here and now, because the third dimension, it's a physical appearance. It's what you and I look like. You can touch it, you can feel it, you can smell it, you can breathe it, and it's tangible. Everything's tangible right here. I'm taking this, picking it up, and drinking it. Okay, and that's great. And the density of this matter is that it has a slower vibration because you can actually pick it up. It takes a little bit of time to pick it up and drink it, right? Okay, so it's hard for us as a human being to understand how we can eventually create shapes from our thoughts. Remember, we say this all the time, though. And a lot of you believe, or a lot of you listen to it and you agree with it, that thoughts become things. But for people that are stuck in the third dimension, it is oftentimes difficult for them to accept that thoughts really do become tangible things. And it's governed by a sense of duality. So when you're stuck in the third dimension, you're looking at things in a physical realm. You're looking at things as tangible, as hardcore, and that we may not have the power to turn our thoughts into things. Even though you hear it and you say you believe it and it resonates with you, but are you really having faith and really putting it in your subconscious and really deep down believing it with your body, mind, heart, and soul, that our thoughts can become tangible things? We can create shapes, we can manifest anything from our thoughts, because that third dimension, like I said, is governed by a sense of comparison, if you will. That's just what it is. And so whenever the soul comes more aware, the matters are no longer perceived as black and white, or yes or no. It should be. And oftentimes I get caught up in that. It's like, yes, it's not rocket science, and it's a simple matter of fact. However, there are a lot of things that are matter of fact, but there's a lot of things that it's just is, and it shouldn't be convoluted and swirling around in your brain to figure out, okay, well, I'm going to have to figure all of this out because a lot of things has happened. Well, that's where you're stuck in the third dimension, because you're not excelling to the fourth or even the fifth dimension, of where say, you know what? The past is right now. The past didn't even happen because it's happening now, and I have the power to change and alter the past as far as the living is going on right now. Remember, I'm not saying you can come and lift the dead from, bring them to life. We're talking about the here and now and the manifesting living beings, okay? So I'm talking about that. But whenever we look at it, that thoughts become things, and we can actually create shapes with our spiritual being and our subconscious, then it is very, very, very possible, not only possible, but it is a matter of fact that we can turn the circumstances from the past around, and they didn't even create, because it's still happening now, and we have the power to change that duality right now. And I know it's a lot of comprehension for you all to digest, but we're going to get into that further in other classes. But we can literally change things with the here and now. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions thus far? Okay. Oh, I was missing them. I was getting all caught up in what I was writing. Yes, listen with your heart. Yes, we are all love. Manifest. Yes. Jordan Lynette, trustworthy of the day. Yes, that is my daughter's name. That is her full name, Jordan Lynette. Her middle name is Lynette. Okay, Jordan. Yes. Used to be me. I was filled with hate. Yes, Jordan was filled with hate. Light and positive is what you surround yourself. Absolutely. Jeanette, when you're in the fourth and fifth dimensions, you can see why people are acting the way they are and can have a bigger understanding of it. Yes, absolutely, Jeanette. That's absolutely correct. We can have a better understanding of it, which I'm beginning to see and understand. It's just that people, they don't get it, and they just want to be filled with hatred and vile and just spew out vile words of venom. It's just really unhealthy, and it's ugly. It looks ugly on you. Okay, so Jeanette says, you can see the way they are acting as things they need to heal. Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of things that they do need to heal because they were brought up with hatred, or they were surrounded with hatred, or they were surrounded with, just things just not going their way. I totally get that, Jeanette. Janet says, now is all there is. Absolutely. Now is all there is, for sure. That is what we have, the here and now. Future doesn't exist because it's now. The past doesn't exist because it's now. And the present is right now. Jordan, Mom, I have to do my chores. I love you so much. I will see you all guys tomorrow. My mom is so amazing. Everything she speaks is the truth. Listen to what she puts out. So very true. Oh, my baby girl. I love you. I love you. I love you. Everybody tell Jordan she is signing off. She does have chores to do, and she is on the road to full restoration to my baby girl that I knew when she was 14 years old. So super excited about that. Yay! Love you. Okay, have fun. All right, so does anybody have any questions about the altering or changing the so-called past as if it didn't happen? Well, that's what I'm working on now, and I've changed quite a bit of it. I'm still working on a few more things though, because in order to do that, there's certain things that I have to manifest and certain things that I have to go back and alter in the other direction. Okay, anybody have any more comments, any questions about this? Raquel, my amazing high school buddy, how are you doing, Raquel? So good to see you and your lovely face this evening. Thank you for tuning in on this magical Monday, or from Fiji Wonderland, it's a Tasteful Tuesday. Okay, so we were discussing about the different dimensions. So that was the third dimension, that everybody is stuck here. So they're analyzing each event and its context, which that means that our souls are always growing. I mean, there's a great divide happening, and the blood wolf full moon was one of the beginnings. I mean, it's been happening for a few years now, but this year we are really seeing more of a great divide. And I'm not meaning that to be as a bad or negative statement. I just mean as a divide, as people are coming together and waking up, getting out of the man-made religious blocks, man-made Bible paraphernalia or whatever. And I don't get me wrong, there's a lot of goodness in the Bible, absolutely, but there's a lot of, twisted and misconstrued things too. But the point is, everybody is coming together and waking up, but they're still being analyzed and analyzing things in the third dimension, which is what we are seeing, visualizing right now. And so whenever we analyze things, that means we are growing into the fourth dimension. Okay, so what is the fourth dimension? A lot of us are there. Definitely a lot of us are there in the fourth dimension. So the fourth dimension, it's transitioning from the fourth to the fifth dimension to have even more powers, if you will. Love you too. You're amazing. Love you. Love you. Love you, Jordan. Okay, so the fourth dimension is a transition into the fifth dimension, which is one of the highest. I mean, there's a lot more dimensions than that, but the fifth dimension is just really, I'll explain that to you in a moment. So the portal is from the fourth dimension to see higher worlds. Then it opens up your heart, and your heart is the key to the fourth dimension, because when you think with your heart and you listen with your heart, then you can feel and you can breathe and you can exemplify love from your heart and soul. And so whenever you're vibrating in the fourth dimension higher than you would in the third dimension, obviously, because you get it. Okay, so thoughts really can become things. So I really do have the power to manifest different things. I can create things in my thoughts and they become real, actual, tangible things. So when you start thinking about that, that means that you're getting ready to propel yourself from the third dimension to the fourth dimension. Okay, and again, I'm going to discuss this in different classes to break it down for you into different steps of how the third, fourth, fifth, and so on dimensions go on. And then we'll talk about the first and second too. But right now we're talking about the third, fourth, and fifth. So the fourth dimension is, like I said, your heart is the key, and you have higher vibrations, and you're thinking about, okay, I know I need to be in this dimension because the third dimension was just keeping me suckered in and keeping me comparing myself to others, or comparing others to something else, or comparing this job to that job, and just a lot of comparison going on, and a lot of hatred and a lot of egos are happening in the third dimension. I mean, when we get to the fifth dimension, our egos are out, just out, out, out. And that's what I'm talking about. I bounce back and forth from the fifth to the fourth because, yes, certain things can trigger, and certain people can come in, and certain vibrations can be lowered. So therefore it gets that ego going, and I speak from ego instead of speaking from higher consciousness and radiating love. I'm guilty of that. I'm not the master of all of this yet. However, I am becoming a master of this, and that will take a few more years, I'm sure. But not if I excel it. I can do it as fast as I choose to do it. I just have to get out of ego self. Okay, so ego exists in the third dimension. The fourth dimension has a little bit of ego with it because you still have that conscious brain that's like, but I wanna, but I have to, but this, but that. And so you're going back and forth kind of from the third and fourth. You've got your ego here, but it's carried over to the fourth. But the fourth also, when you're in the fourth dimension, you know that there's much more to this planet and to life than the third physical being realm that you're in right now. Okay, does that make any sense? It's also a dimension where we forgive, 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 forgive. I want you all to come to the fourth dimension with me, because forgiveness, how many times have I discussed about forgiveness? And I find more and more and more people that really don't have forgiveness, or some people say that they do, but they really don't, because then they hold it against you later on. And that's just not forgiveness at all. It's just really not. Forgive and forget. You know, there's a lot of different aspects and modalities of forgiveness, and we'll talk about that in another video, which I already have. But I'm finding more and more as I raise the different vibrations of the unforgiveness that people really do have. So it's very important. Whenever you really understand the concept of forgiveness, that means you are really propelling to the fourth dimension. Okay, so Jeanette Bass says you need to surrender to your heart and guides to reach the fifth. Absolutely. You need to surrender to your hearts and guides to reach the fifth, which is what I've been doing. But again, it's like ping pong, up and down, up and down. The fourth is where you let go of your ego. Yes, Jeanette, the fourth is where you let go of your ego. And once you can do that, then you're like, okay, I'm in this dimension now. Okay, I see everybody, what they're doing down here. Oh, wow, that's what I was doing. Oh, wow, I'm glad I propelled. I'm glad I started learning from myself and learning from my heart. So now I know I'm in this fourth dimensional realm. And once we get to the fourth and fifth dimensions, we typically don't go back to the third, but we can be suckered back to the third when we surround ourselves with anger and hate and vile and negativity. It's just not good soul food. It's not good nourishment for the body. And then you start eating toxic foods, and then you start getting toxic syndromes that happen in your body. Then you start having all different kinds of things that go on in your body because you've propelled down. And you think that, well, eating toxic food isn't bad, but yet you've gained weight, you've become toxic, or your skin's like toxic, or, you know, stuff like that. So that's how you know you've gone back down to the third dimension, whenever you've started incorporating habits that are not good for your body. When you get in the fourth and fifth dimensions, it's like, I don't know what it's like. It's like, you know, once you have been told the truth, you don't want to go back. That's toxic and that's negative. It's like you want to keep propelling forward, forward. Oh my goodness, I know what good food does for my body and with my body, and how good food helps me to excel and take care of my health, and I'm the healthiest being alive. I don't ever want to go back there. Yet when we get consumed and we surround ourselves with people, oh, that's okay. You can eat toxic food. It's not going to kill you. Oh, that's okay. You can do this. It's not going to hurt you. Oh, that's okay. You can present this situation. That's going to be okay. And you're filled with lies and deceit and manipulation. Then you're going to be propelled spiral downhill back down to the third dimension, to where you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm caught in this vortex again. Oh my goodness, I'm going to climb my way out. I need to get out of it. What am I going to do? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to surround yourself with good, motivational, uplifting people, communities surrounding you and your thought process. Okay, makes sense? What do you think about that, Jeanette? Isn't that true? We can easily go back down into the third dimension whenever we get suckered in, or, you know, other people have influences over us. Is that correct? Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, so, all right. Any questions? Did I lose anyone? Everyone's still there? Are you following me with what I'm talking about? All right, so let's moving right along, and let's do some more insight on the fourth dimension. I love Jeanette's train of thought here, and I love her insight. Thank you very much. Lacey, do you have anything else to say about this, the fourth dimension, love and forgiveness? So we know in the fourth dimension is where we learn to forgive. You know, like I said, I had the dad that I had and the grandmother that I had, and you know, they just taught me forgiveness. My dad was always in the fifth dimension because he always saw all kinds of things, and I just thought my dad was loony as a baseball bat. You know, so I don't guess baseball bats are really loony. Fruity as a nut cake. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I just thought, okay, Dad, you're really weird. Yeah, okay. But my dad was really circulating in the fifth dimension because he saw the beings for what they were, and he saw love and light and harmony and happiness, and he just floated around literally in the clouds and just telling everybody peace, happiness, harmony, forgiveness, 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 and feed yourself with good nourishment, and feed your body, soul, mind, and heart with good nourishment. And that's how my dad was. So, you know, some of these I do take for granted because that's just the way I was brought up, in a very amazing, loving environment with my dad and my grandmother. It was just so awesome. And so they counteracted the other person that I lived with, which was my biological womb donor. And that my dad and her mother and other people in my life overpowered the darkness that was, and therefore I was able to stay in the happy light, and I was able to keep myself protected. You know, of course, God and the angels protected me as well. So that's how I know that these other dimensions exist, because now I know exactly that's where my dad and grandmother was. Okay. And so whenever we experience this, it becomes very possible, when we experience the forgiveness and all that's going on in the third dimension and we see it, then we know that we can excel and have access to higher dimensions even after dimension 5. Okay, so once you're in the fourth dimension, then you crave and you desire and you long the lifestyle from the heart that is totally different than what you've ever been used to in the third dimension. It's like you go over here to over here, and you're like, oh my God, I do not want to cross that bridge on the other side again. I like it over here because I'm healthy and I'm happy and my body is doing so amazing. So that's when you know you're in the fourth dimension, when you just completely walk away from the third dimension and you're over here. It's not that you changed, it's that you grew and you expanded. And that's what happened to me over the years. You know, I began my journey in 2004 on this journey, on this organic healing journey with my son Koti, and learning all of the detriments. You know, I have that story on my website, fuelforthebody.net. Definitely look up my son's story in his 28 surgeries with 7 different surgeons and 2 near-death experiences that he faced on the deathbed, and he was literally sentenced to death by these doctors. And so my son gets to experience a lot of other things in the spiritual realm because he was faced with death 2 times, and then he was put under 28 times. And when you're under anesthesia, it does a lot of stuff to you. So think about being under anesthesia for 28 times. Oh my goodness. And then nearly dying twice, 2 out of those 28 times, because we almost didn't make it to the hospital. So my son can actually see a lot of different other things. Of course, he's still learning and growing, and he has a lot to encounter as well. But he sees things that I don't even see, because he's very intuitive, and things just come to him, and things just happen because he sees the spirits, you know, being put under. But he knows that he's in the fourth dimension. Okay, so then whenever you're in the fourth dimension, you also will try to solve problems in your life that were caused by the duality in the third dimension. Does that make any sense? You want to solve those problems because you're a problem solver, and you want to solve the problems that happened to you in the third dimension, which was physical. And you're like, oh my goodness, I see it. I see what happened over there. Okay, I want to take this and I want to fix this over here, which we have the power and we have the ability to actually fix that. Remember, because the time is now. It's always in the now. Jeanette, it depends on the person. Yes, it does depend on the person. Absolutely. It depends on the person of what they choose to do. We all have a path. Even when we do blue light and love, the person has a choice to choose to come back to the light or to choose to stay in the darkness. So we all have a choice. Even though they come to the lightness, they still have a choice to go back to the darkness. So yes, everybody does have a choice, and it's all about choice. Remember, also I discussed last night the law of action, which means, you know, a lot of things are going to happen with us and for us, and we get what we ask for the way we ask for them. So always be careful what you wish for. However, it's not going to happen for us if we don't take action to make that incentive. Things aren't just going, some people think you just sit there, okay, I'm just going to let God take care of it, like the guy that wanted the life things thrown at him. I'm just waiting on God to save me, but yet everybody was coming around giving him the life wars and life whatever. No, I'm waiting on signs from God. I'm waiting on God, but yet God was sending all these people. It's like, yeah, it really does work that way, that you have to take action in order to get certain things to happen. I want a new job, want a new job, want a new job. But if I don't get up off my ass and go put that application in, then chances are, or if I don't talk to the boss or whoever, chances are I'm probably not going to get that new job, because it's not just going to come over and pop down and say, oh, open the gates, open the door, and let them walk in. That's not how it works. It's the law of action. All right, Janet, healing can come with past life hypnosis. Getting to the most cause is important. Yes, absolutely. Getting to the root cause is important. Yes, absolutely, Janet. That is exactly what Janet was able to do for me, to get to the root cause of my past life, which is also, it has to do, I really thought it was going to be something to do with my biological womb donor. I really did, and that's why I was putting it together. But apparently I'd already healed myself from that, especially when I was a little girl. My grandmother and dad, I guess, helped me to heal that, because I never really had anything, because I finally broke her chains when I got back from Fiji. But what Janet was helped me able to realize with under hypnotherapy, this came about a week later, then I started getting things from my past, which was just like 24 years ago, with what happened with the kid's biological dad and all of the horrendous, horrid, grotesque, wretched, awful things that I went through and my kids went through, that I would never wish on my worst enemy. It was horrid, horrid, horrid. I mean, holy guacamoles back, man. How I'm not in a Looney Tune mental institution, and I'm not making fun of it, and I'm not laughing at it, but it's just like, oh my God. I even wonder, how did I survive that? Of course I survived it by God Almighty, the great I am. That's exactly how I survived it. But my point is, I thought it was going to be something else that I was going to have to deal with. No, I was faced with my past of just 20 something years ago when I was a young adult, and it brought a lot of things to fester. And I had some night terrors, Janet. Oh my goodness, I had some really bad night terrors over the past few weeks. Horrid. But I was able to come to realization with it, like, that's not how I'm going to live my life in that anymore, which I'd already told myself, and I blocked away a lot of things. I hid it because I didn't want to come to fruition. I didn't want to come to realization that that's really what happened to me. I didn't want to admit that that's really what happened to me. I kind of did, but I really didn't. But now I see exactly what happened to me, and it's like, wow. So I'm able to overcome that because I was faced with it. I brought it into the now. It no longer exists in the past, and I'm able to change that around. And you can too. I can teach you how to do that. Okay? So thank you very much, Janet. All right, moving right along. Alex, so glad to have you on here. Haven't seen you in a while, my friend. How are you doing, Alex? Such a pleasure to have you. Okay, so in the fourth dimension, like I said, we try to solve those problems that happened in the third dimension. Okay, so you also still experience good and evil, light and dark, male and female, but in the fourth dimension, we're very aware of that fact that we are supposed to work on me, ourselves. Remember what I told you? Everybody was wondering where my relationship status was. I got so many I got so many phone texts, which, by the way, my phone is not working. So if anybody tries to text me lately, yeah, well, I don't know. Anyway, I don't have a lot of contacts in my phone, so I'm not getting any information. But anyway, people were sending me text messages. They were sending me Facebook inboxes like, who's this relationship? You're already in a relationship? This relationship? Everybody's in a relationship. Then I had some people screenshot. So what's this all about? Huh? Really? Oh, that's so funny. So funny. Me. I'm in a relationship with me, myself, and the great I am, and source and spirit. And it just feels so freaking amazing. Amazing. Okay, so in that fourth dimension, that's work on ourselves. Us. It's all about me. And it's not easy being me. I can tell you that right now. And it's probably not easy being you either, but it's not easy being me. So work on me. Work on you. And so when we try to solve those problems, we are well aware that the way to solve those problems is to solve our inner issues. And that's what I'm doing. And it feels so good. It feels so good to be alive in this day and time. Absolutely. And so the concept that we are all one really starts to resonate. And so we are all one is the core to what we need to learn. And that, my friends, is how we propel to the fifth dimension. We are all equal. Our consciousness grows together, and we have a lot of knowledge that becomes very increased. And we're just like, oh my goodness, we're a sponge. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. And we're just absorbing all of this information and getting it and feeding it to our conscious brains. And it's just so awesome. And so what we have to battle with is another choice. Do we choose to increase our hunger for knowledge even more? Or do we choose to say, that's too much for me. I want to go back down here to the third dimension. 9 times out of 10, people want to propel more, but sometimes they do slip and they do go back, and then they get their bodies filled with toxic sludge, and then it messes with their brain to start thinking toxic thoughts and start thinking the worst out of everybody, right? And so it's a very intense, very difficult decision for a lot of people to make because it seems so overpowering with them. Okay, now moving right along into the fifth dimension. Are you ready? Time to release what no longer serves you. Absolutely. And that's exactly what has been happening, Janet. Releasing what no longer serves me. Okay, so in the fifth dimension, number 5, that is where manifestation through thoughts is very, very possible. And what I've been talking about telepathy, that I have been able to capture. I've been able to capture and hone and embrace. Oh my goodness. Telepathy is absolutely freaking fun and amazing. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh my goodness, I have a 3-step method that I've been able to grab different things from different lectures and different instructors, but I made my own to have it to manifest even faster, and it's super fun. I can do it, you can do it, but you definitely have to be in the mindset of the 4th going into the 5th dimension. Absolutely. Our emotions are still present, which is why I teeter back and forth from the 4th dimension to the 5th dimension, because my emotion, and I'm a very emotional person, which means I work and I thrive on my emotions. My emotions is what progresses me and what keeps me going and making decisions in my life by my emotions. But in the 5th dimension, whenever you stay there, then you no longer let the emotions fool you, which that's what's happening with me right now. It's kind of like teetering back and forth because I'm not quite over the hump yet. But in the 5th dimension, it's, you know, it is a task, but it is fun and it is easy. It may not be simple, but it is easy because you've got all of this over here bombarding you, come back, come back, come back. So we want to refrain from doing that. So then in the 5th dimension, you expunge a mastery over yourself, okay? So the frequencies of the 5th dimension are higher than those of the dense world of the earth, obviously, because we can manifest things much faster, manifest things in real time, and it's just really fun, and we can really speak to people with telepathy, and they can hear us. Their higher spirit, their highest and best now can hear us. We vibrate at speeds faster than the speed of light, and it makes manifestation, creation by thoughts very, 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 very possible, which is what I am experimenting and doing with now, but I'm bouncing back and forth. And if you all want to have some more insight on this, this is from Spiri Apps. I think they have a thing on here. I'll share that information with you all. Okay, so let's see, what else? Janet, the one is the whole. The water drop becomes the ocean. Yes, good insight. The water drop becomes the ocean. Absolutely. Which means we are like Earth. Everyone is on their way towards the 5th dimension. Few of us making it to the 5th dimension, getting our eyes and our 3rd eye open, all 3 eyes open. So it's a matter of time. You know, different people will reach the different dimensions on different times as time zone in their lifetime. So it's hard to tell of when you can't judge and you can't predict when somebody is going to be in a certain dimension. It could take 5 years, it could take 15 years, it could take 20 years, it could take however long. But what we do know is that our soul in the 5th dimension is definitely matched with our hearts, and love prevails, because guess what? Our actions are made from the heart and no longer from the head. Because what happens with this head? Our head is filled and bombarded with all kinds of rubbish that man is putting out there for us to incorporate, for us to breed. And so whenever that rubbish is put into our heads, then that's what we're thinking with. You know, don't think with your brain. Refrain from thinking with your brain. Think and resonate and act with your hearts. And that's where you know that you are on one of the highest vibrations ever, when you no longer think and act with the man manipulated brain. All right. So does anybody have any questions? I love your comments. I love your input. Thank you, everybody, for all of your inputs. But I just want to leave it for now. We have other classes and other things that I am working on to help you all to know your highest and best now, and how you can overcome the adversities of life and the so-called chaos times of life. I want to be able to help you to grow in this spirit of your highest and best now. I want to help you to let go of ego self. I want to help you to resonate from your body, heart, and soul, and get rid of the thoughts in your brain, because those should no longer serve you, because you've been taught a certain way in the third dimension, and you have been taught how to think. Brianna, it's so good to see you, Brianna. Hey, are you working tonight? Anyway, just let me know. Brianna, send me a private message. Janet says, love is all there is. Love is the only way to be connected. Absolutely. Love is the answer. Love is the way and the only way. Thank you very much, Janet. Okay, so let's see, where was I at? What was I saying? Oh, so in the line of thought process, whenever we're thinking with our brains, is going to convolute everything. It is really going to just misconstrue a lot of things. And it's just very important that when you are on the plane to the fourth dimension and you're in the fourth dimension, we must keep going forward. When you back up and you get back down into the third dimension and you've toxified your body, mind, and soul and heart, well, you're just setting yourself up for more failure and more destruction and more chaos and more confusion, because you're right back to where you started from instead of going further. I mean, we still get confused. I still get confused with my emotions and different things that are going on in my world. However, I know that like once I came over to the light and once I came over to real foods, like I'm just studying to get even more progressed and more advanced, because I'll be damned if I'm going to go back to that toxic world to make my body nothing but a toxic sludge pile of rubbish. Oh no, we are to take care of our temples. Oh, but Lynette, this is not going to hurt you or kill you. Well, it may not kill you right there, but you're dying a slow, miserable death. And why do that when you don't have to? So it's very important to keep moving forward and keep filling your body and your stomach and your gut and your organs with good, awesome, amazing, real, toxic-free food, so that you don't fall back in to the third dimension. Make sense? Hey, Thomas, so good to see you. Thanks for joining in this evening. So glad to have you on here. Okay, does anybody have any more comments or questions? Anything at all? Oh, we have Patrick Schinkel. Hello, Patrick. Thank you for joining in tonight. All right. So we are going to bring this live video to a close this evening. I really appreciate each and every one of you tuning in tonight. You are all so amazing. Stay tuned as we go further, diving deeper to seeing the unseen, because I have seen it. I have seen a lot of things in my experiments over the past 9 weeks, and it is freaking phenomenal. Very amazing. And what I see happening, oh my goodness, it's so awesome. But yes, I do get caught up in my own ego self, and I do get caught up in the but this, but I'm letting it all go. I am slowly but surely letting every single bit of it go. I am doing more and more telepathy, and I'm having freaking fun with it, and I am changing the way the stars were aligned in the so-called past, because it is right here in the right now, which is what I did with my situation that happened 20 something years ago, and I can help you to do that as well. So anyway, you all are super amazing. I love each and every one of you. Janet, call me since you're not getting my message. Okay, I will do that, Janet. I have to go deliver some soup this evening, Janet, so I will definitely give you a call. It will be later or in the morning. I do have some things for you. Of course, also to let you all know, if anybody has sent me an email, fuelforthebody@gmail.com, I got locked out of it. I don't know what happened. It went down, it crashed, kablam, kaplooey, went belly up. I have not, if anybody has sent me emails on Fuel for the Body and some of my emails didn't get sent out, or they got blocked or something, or had a big red flag on it that people were getting, like this email might have a virus. So fuelforthebody@gmail.net no longer serves me. I have a new email, breathofgreenmission@gmail.com. So I will get new emails out to you all as soon as I get my list transferred over. So anyway, please forgive me, and I apologize in advance for the inconvenience and my emails being taken down. So I just want you all to know that I still love you very, very much. You all are super amazing. Why? Because I love you. Because you are awesome. You are amazing. You are beautiful. And you are loved. From me to you. And until we meet again, Vanaka Vaka Levu for tuning in. Bye bye.